What's going on, members of the Burger Empire? Brian here for Body by Burgers, and today's video is going to be a quick video because it's Wednesday and I forgot it's Wednesday, and I was like, oh yeah, that video that I uploaded on Monday, that was like a bonus thank you video, and I need to put something on Wednesday because I always put up a video on Wednesday, and here we are. So what I want to talk about today, and this is literally just off the cusp and off the fly, and here we go, is a couple things that I've kind of learned over the last few days that you guys might want to pay attention to. As you all know, I am taking the ISSA personal training certificate and course, and I've kind of, I guess, had a bit of a revelation with that, and then I've kind of had a bit of a discovery about myself. Let's get the talk about myself out of the way. What I have recently discovered is that I produce a shitload of cortisol when I get stressed, and I have done a lot of things to try and reduce my stress naturally, like by taking moments to myself, or even the gym is an antidepressant and de-stressor and things like that. Stress kind of got overwhelming. I'm on this weight loss journey, and cortisol is kind of like a hormone that gets released when you're stressed with your body in order to help deal with stress. And one of the side effects of that cortisol is either the inability to lose weight or even weight gain. You know, I'd started the new year and I had this mentality that 2018 was going to be my year, and I was going to do things great, and I was going to make progress, and I was finally going to be under 300 pounds. I was going to run Spartan races, and I was gung-ho, and the stress of life and its challenges really weren't getting to me, or I wasn't allowing them to get to me. About a week ago, things just kind of hit hard, and for the job that I have, things are very, very stressful. It's a commission-based environment, so there's a lot of high stress going on, and I deal with social anxiety. That's not a secret by any means for any of you guys. My anxiety can lead to stress or anxiety attacks and things like that. So it kind of all hit me really hard when I went on the scale. I knew I was stressed, and it was kind of like my check-in week anyway, because I'm giving you guys those updates. I stepped on the scale. We all know I started the new year at 329.8 pounds. At one point this year, I'd already weighed in at 322, so I was like 7 pounds lost. And then I stepped on the scale 4 or 5 days ago. Basically at the peak of my stress for the month, I jumped on the scale at 328 pounds. And I was like, you're joking me, right? Like, there's no way. Kind of started talking to a friend of mine. You guys heard me mention her before. Fun Size Fitness is what she is on YouTube. Fitness Fun Size on Instagram. And she's like, figure out your cortisol levels. I guarantee you it's stress, because she knows me well. We talk a lot and whatnot. Everybody deals with stress differently, and I've tried things, and for me it used to be drawing, and it probably still is, but I've tried that, and my stress levels were still through the roof. I'm the kind of guy that's going to try absolutely everything before I take something that is external. Back in November, December, we all know that with me being in a retail environment, that's the busiest, most stressful time of the year. So back then, my mother had actually went out and got me daytime stress pills. These are Weber Naturals daytime stress pills. I refused to take them. I was like, it's not bad, I'll get through it. But for whatever reason in January, like about the midway point here, it hit me hard. And I gained 6 of the 7 pounds that I had lost back. I tried pinning it on everything, but not being able to deal with stress. I started taking these stress pills. I've only taken half of the actual dosage it says to take. My mood was elevated almost instantly, and I felt better, and I feel like these pills kind of react to what the cortisol levels are in your body, because I've been taking them for about 4 days now, I want to say, something like that, 3 or 4 days, and there's days where it hits me harder and then not so much, and I think that's because there's days where I'm stressed more. When it comes to my health and fitness results, I stepped on the scale this morning at 324 pounds. So now that's 5.8 pounds, and I'm back on track, and I'm less stressed, and I just feel better about things. Am I saying, or am I recommending that you take something external? I don't know. I really don't. Because, again, I'm that kind of guy that's going to try absolutely everything I can do, to de-stress, to evaluate things, and do things the right way without taking something external. That's just who I am, and I think there's always natural ways to deal with things. I think I just got overwhelmed, and I don't think it's going to be something that I take every day, like days off. I don't got stress. I just got work to do, so I'll be okay with that. And then, of course, maybe once these are gone, I'll start to be able to transition my life a little better to where I want to, and that will be that. Okay, rant over. Now it's time to talk about things that are beneficial for you guys. So I started the ISSA training, of course, and the very first section or subsection, like there's chapters, but the very first subsection was metabolism, and I thought, hell, I'm fat. I need to know what metabolism's about. This is going to be an advantage. Well, the one thing that I learned, or maybe not learned, but got reminded about, is that metabolism is commonly or misrepresented. Metabolism isn't about how fast your body takes the food and turns it to poop. It's not that by any means. Poop is literally just a byproduct of what you're eating, of what your body isn't absorbing. What metabolism is how fast it takes that food you're eating and turns it into an energy source. So for myself, being what I am, I know I've got a slow metabolism. With that being in mind, I'm kind of changing things up. I used to be a big morning guy, like let's work out in the morning before work, let's get it done. The reason I actually started changing my workouts to evening workouts is so I could get the studying in the morning, because that's literally going to be the only time that I feel the best and I'm ready to go, and I feel like I can focus on that. So I kind of did a 180-degree flip in life, and I prioritized things. I even wrote it down on a whiteboard, so I see it every day as to what my priorities, and getting this personal training certificate in ISSA is number one. So that's what I work on first thing in the morning. I think the biggest thing is commonly misinterpreted, again, about metabolism is it's not how long it takes your food to digest. That's just the digestive tract. Metabolism is how quickly your food turns into energy, and how efficiently your body is using that food for energy. When it comes to things like fat loss, there's like this whole scale of what it takes to burn certain nutrients. Metabolism is based off of your macronutrients. The three things that we track is your carbs, your fats, and your proteins. When it comes to really your training perception, if you want to burn fat, there's like this whole scale. But this particular scale rates things 0.0 to 1.0. You've got carbs, fats, proteins. When you are exercising at about 60% of your capacity, you are using carbohydrates as your energy source. When you're exercising to about 70% of your capacity, you're using fat and fatty acids as your energy source. And then when you're exercising to 100% of your capacity, that's when you start using proteins. So for fat loss, you really want to be in that 70% zone. You're going to get a good sweat, you're going to work hard, but you want to kind of feel like you've got that extra like 30% or 25% to give. Because then that way, you know that when you're doing your workouts and your intensive exercise, you know that you're using your fat stored, or your fat muscles, fuck, that's not a thing. But when you're exercising at 70% of your capacity, that way you're using your stored fat in order to provide your body with that energy for the workout. So that way you're depleting those fat sources and those fat storage systems, like my mem boobs, to do the workout. So that's just my kind of little tip that I've learned so far. Like I said, this ISSA course, as much as it is for me to have a confidence boost, to tell you guys, or to gain clients and try and make some sort of income living from this, it's also so I can educate you guys for free. I'll spend the money to give you guys the info for free, because this is what I want to do with life. I think that's about the video. It's kind of rough, I know, but I got some information out there that I think is important. One, stress and cortisol levels are a goddamn killer for trying to lose weight, because cortisol leads to weight gain. And you take something like this, if you absolutely have to reduce your cortisol levels, it's essentially a cortisol blocker with all natural ingredients. to help you continue to lose weight and deal with life. And then 2, the common misconception about metabolism is not how fast it takes the food to poop, but how fast it takes the food to energy. And when you're training, if you're specifically training for fat loss, you want to be in that 70% zone of exertion in order to be burning fat stores as opposed to using your carbohydrates as your energy source. Carbohydrates, when you're at about that 60%, should be used for your day-to-day exercises. And then, of course, if you have no carb intake and you're just sitting there doing nothing with life, just for your body to live, it's going to be using that fat source as well for its energy stores. Carbs are going to be like your instant boost, right? Get you started, and then once you get to that 70% point, that's when you start using your fat stores or your fat storage as your energy source. Once you hit that 100%, then you start using proteins. There's a whole big science, but simplified version of it. 60% of training to get you started is going to be carbs, and once you hit your 70%, that's where your fat loss happens. There you go. Simplified. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, make sure to like the video. It'll go a long way to help me. Comment in the comments section below in ways that you help deal with stress yourself. Apparently for me, lifting heavy wasn't enough, and I tried that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. It's the only way to become a member of the Burger Empire. There's one more thing I have to say. Oh yeah, burger power.